Most likely to 10x.
Who wants to go first? Me?
I'll go first with QuantumScape.
Oh, okay. And most likely? All right. I'd say I'll give my most likely to 10x. Probably as I put Proterra. Very small company. I think it's really easier.
Yeah.
It's much easier to 10x a $1.6 billion company with revenue than it is to 10x a much bigger company that doesn't have revenue yet. So I'd say that's the most likely to 10x. I don't necessarily think it has the most upside potential of the group, but I think that's the most likely of the group to 10x over time.
Yeah, those two were the ones that really stood out to me, partly because of their market caps. Proterra being like 1.6 billion, and I think QuantumScape was like 14 billion or something like that.
Yep.
Rivian was interesting, but if it comes to market at 50 billion, it would have to be a $500 billion company, maybe, but not going to be my pick.
One automaker has ever done that.
Right. Now, this one might be like a 10-way tie, but I'll ask it. Most likely to 0x.
I would put it between the three companies that don't have revenue yet. Because right now they're just concepts. Out of them, I would say my most likely to 0x is QuantumScape, which is why Jason's answer surprised me so much for the last question.
It's my answer for both of these actually.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very binary outcome company.
But I mean, they're like Anand just said there. I could point to 7 companies on this list and make the case that they're going to 0x. And Tesla's not one of them. But by the way, I'm not in the Tesla queue. I'm not in that group. They're not too big.
They're not all going to make it. They're not all going to make it.
But Tesla's an established business at this point. They're not going to fail.
Right.
Their financial controls they've managed their finances really well. These aren't all going to fail. I see this playing out kind of like the dot-com bubble, and about half of the new players will fail. But then there are some big winners that are yet to be uncovered. In the dot-com bubble, how many tech companies went bankrupt?
Yep.
But what has Amazon done since then? You're going to see a similar thing play out over the next 2 decades or so in the EV space.
Back to Anand's 71 top companies article, 50 of those are going to not exist in 5 years or 10 years, as what I think. Of the ones that come out of it, there's going to be some consolidation, and there's going to be a couple of huge winners. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, you could convince me of any one of these except for GM, VW, Tesla, and BYD. I think.
Interesting.
Right.
I think GM has a non-zero probability of 10xing. If it 10x'd, it would be the size of Tesla today. And if Cruise is what they think it could be, I could definitely see that happening, especially because there's so many of its rivals are backing Cruise as well. I could see that really being a 10x driver.
And sorry, I meant to 0x.
Oh, okay.
I was giving them the credit, but yeah, no, I agree with you. It's possible. I mean,
and on the other side, GM has 0x before.